Hi, welcome to Abdur Instructor, and I hope you are well. In this video, we're going to talk about a question was asked by one of the trainee who wants to become a driving instructor. He called me and he said that if there's one thing I need to work on to become a driving instructor, what should I do? Where should I work on? If that one thing I need to work on, what should it be? And here's what I said. Let's start the lesson. One of the trainee booked a call with me and he said that if there's one thing I need to work on, where should I work on? What should I do to become a driving instructor? When I'm training, if there's one thing I have to do, what should I do? Obviously, in the training, you have to do the theory, you have to do the part 2, you have to do the part 3. But to become a driving instructor, what is this one thing you should concentrate on? You should mainly focus on to become a driving instructor. And I said to him, gaining knowledge. It is your knowledge that is going to make you a driving instructor. That is going to make you a good driving instructor. That is going to make your life easier. That is going to make your life easier, your learner's life easier. Remember, what is your job? As a driving instructor, what is it that you're going to be doing mainly? Are you going to be driving or are you going to be teaching? What are you going to be doing? You're going to be teaching, right? You're not going to be driving, showing your learner how to drive. You're going to tell them how to drive and they will do it. And for that, what do you need? You need the knowledge, right? The more knowledge you gain in driving, more better you're going to be as a driving instructor. Passing part 2 and 3 is just something you're going to face and you're going to pass. The more knowledge you gain, more easier your part 2 and 3 are going to be. I always say that the reason because the more knowledge you gain, more you will know how to drive, more you will know how to teach. If you know how to go left, how to go right, how to deal with roundabouts, the rules of roundabouts, you might think, yeah, but I've been driving it for 15 years, 10 years, 20 years. I should know all that. But do you though? Have you ever tested yourself? Have you ever done a reality check? How much knowledge you have about roundabouts, about crossroads? If I say to you, second exit on the right on roundabout, can you quickly answer that? Which lane you're going to be? Which way you're going to signal? On a mini roundabout, do you have to signal to come off? Who has priorities in crossroads? Who has priority in meeting situation? Approaching a traffic light, how should I approach? What kind of questions should I be giving to my learners when I'm teaching them approaching a traffic light, approaching a roundabout, approaching a junction? What is an open junction? What is a closed junction? What is the meaning of the giveaway line? Do you actually understand the meaning? What is the meaning of a giveaway line? What is the meaning of a stop line? Do you understand all of that? Do you understand the road markings, the road signs? Signal, is it the only thing we use as signal, the indicator, or is there other things we can use as a signal? What about the brake lights? What about the reverse lights? What about the position of your car? All these are signals. Do you know all of that? You see, becoming a driving instructor is not the skill of your driving. The skill of your driving should be good. And the way you're going to make that good is if you know the knowledge, if you have the knowledge. If you have the knowledge, your driving is going to improve. And also when you are teaching, which you're going to be doing all your life as a driving instructor, gaining knowledge is the most important thing you need. So if I were you, I wouldn't just do your part 1, which is the theory, and that's it, leave reading. I wouldn't stop reading. I wouldn't stop watching videos. I would just try to gain as much as I can. In my time, there was no social media. There was no YouTube. There was no Google. I have to buy a lot of books to read books. And if I were you as a driving instructor, the driving essentials, that's number 1. Number 2, which is the highway code. And number 3, which is the know your signs. These 3 books, you should memorize it. You should go from first page to last page many times. Try to understand what the book is saying. Try to go through the books. Remember, people's going to come to you because you have a knowledge they don't have. They could be doctor, they could be lawyer, they could be solicitor, they could be educated on other field, but they come to you for something they don't have. And they rely on you to give them the right answers, teach them the right things at the right time. You're not giving them just the basic. You want to give them more than they need. Remember, this car is a weapon. It's going to kill people unless you control it. And for you to teach someone to control this vehicle, this piece of metal, which is the most dangerous on the road, you have to make sure that you give them what they need to be safe on the road. And the way you're going to do that is if you have the knowledge. If you don't, you're not going to give. How are you going to give knowledge to others if you don't have it yourself? Okay, so that's what I said to him. I said, try to gain knowledge as much as you can. Okay, try not to worry about your part 2 and part 3. You've done your part 1 and now you're thinking of your part 2 and part 3, or maybe you've done your part 2 and now you're thinking of part 3. Try not to just think of the test. Test is something you just have to prove it to someone that you can do it. It doesn't mean your focus should be on the test. Test should be piece of cake if you've got the knowledge. Your training should be gaining the knowledge, knowing what you need to do. If you know how to go left and how to go right yourself, if you know that, the MS-PSL routine, how to put those PSL routine into practice. If you go out and do those by yourself every day for an hour, imagine how much knowledge you're going to gain. Imagine how good instructor you're going to be. If you have it here, easier to pass on. If you don't have it, how are you going to pass it on? I said to him, can you explain to me what is meeting situation and how you're going to deal with that? How are you going to teach your learner what is meeting and who has the priority? He was mumbling. He didn't have the full knowledge on meeting situation. I said to him, explain to me how you would deal with crossroads. Who has priority on that situation? I gave him an example. I said, in that situation, who has priority? He was mumbling. You see, not that it's a bad thing. Obviously, he's training to become a driving instructor. All I'm saying is you should have knowledge on those things. Also, when the learner asks you a question, what is your job? It is your responsibility to answer the question to your learner. If you don't know, you have to find the answer and give the answer to your learner, because that's what they're paying for. Remember, they're not just paying for you to teach them. They are paying because to teach them and give them the knowledge they need. So they're also paying for your knowledge. The knowledge that you have, they don't have. That's the reason why they came to you. And now what is your job? Your job is to give them the knowledge and teach them. And the only way you're going to give them the knowledge is if you have the knowledge. If you don't have, you can't give. Okay? So number one, if you ask me, is if there's one thing I should focus on, I would say gain knowledge as much as you can. And try to separate these subjects, okay? Individually gain knowledge. So look at the subjects that you need to learn, okay? What is the subject? You come in on the first day, you teach your learner the cockpit drill, the D travel SM, and then you teach them the control lesson. Then you teach them how to move off, how to stop the car, how to change gear if you're teaching in a manual car, how to go left, how to go right from a major road into a minor road, how to go left and right from a minor road into a major road, how to deal with roundabouts, how to deal with mini roundabouts, how to deal with crossroads, how to deal with anticipation, how to deal with meeting situation. These are the subjects you will be teaching, and these are the subjects you should learn individually. Try to gain the knowledge individually. If you need extra help on training for your ADI Part 2, don't forget to take the advantage of our online course, which gives everything you need for you to train yourself to master your driving and for you to pass your ADI Part 2. The course has more than 30 videos giving you everything you need for you to train, for you to master your driving, so that you fully prepare yourself for you to become a driver, a good, safe driver, and that you prepare yourself for you to pass your ADA Part 2. I will leave a link on the description for you to have a look. Have a look and see and read. If you like it, you could always join the course. And also, most important is for your Part 3, the marking sheet of Part 3. You should master it. You should read that, study that, and understand the sheet by heart. It has 3 subjects with 17 components. You should study all of them, understand all of them, and by heart you should know all of them. The ADI Part 3, the marking sheet, because that's how they're going to mark you, and that's how you're going to be marked on. You should know what is it that you're going to be marked on, and the reason you are marking on those things is because those things makes you a driving instructor. Without those 17, you can't be a good instructor. You can't be a driving instructor. For you to become a driving instructor, is those 17 you need to practice on, and on those 17 you need to be a master at. That's what you're going to be doing with your learners every single day. Okay, the reason they're marking you according to the marking sheet is because according to that, that's how you're going to be teaching for the rest of your life as long as you are as a driving instructor. If you don't understand that, how are you going to teach? You have to teach the way you need to teach, and the way you need to teach is according to the marking sheet. And this is the reason why you are marked as according to the marking sheet. So it is your responsibility to study the marking sheet. I mean, when I ask the trainees who calls me for help, and as you know, I take calls, you could book a call with me. So I get many calls, I get many bookings, many calls. And one of the questions I always ask is, have you seen the marking sheet of your ADI Part 3? You won't be surprised. I'm shocked to hear how many say no. Many, they say they haven't even heard of the marking sheet and they want to become a driving instructor. I can't believe that. Anyway, one of the main training I say to become a driving instructor is to study the marking sheet. Not just for you to pass the test. The marking sheet is what you need for you to become a driving instructor. It is something you should know because that gives you the knowledge to become a driving instructor. So that's another thing you should work on, to study the marking sheet. Okay. So anyway, this is what I wanted to share in this video. I hope the video helps. I hope it gives you something to work on, something to think about. I hope the video helps. If it does, please do give a thumbs up. Please do make a comment what you think of the video. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Hope to see you again on the next video. Bye for now.